Trust is one of the most basic requirements in any type of relationship, be it a friendship, a romantic relationship, or a member of your family. For this reason, in this video, I will comment on 10 characteristics of people you can never trust, according to Stoic philosophy. First of all, to observe whether the person fits one of these characteristics that I am going to mention, observation is necessary. However, this is relatively easy. Just analyze the person's speech and actions to get an idea of who they are and what their essence is. So, with that out of the way, I'm going to comment on each of these types of people and explain why you shouldn't trust them. Before we start, check your channel subscription. Watch until the end, because in the end I have something special to give you. Stay until the end. Let's look at the first type of person, narcissists. When dealing with narcissistic people, Stoics would remind us of the importance of not allowing the behavior of others to affect our inner tranquility. Practicing indifference towards their self-centered actions allows us to maintain our peace of mind in the midst of their vanity. Think about it with me. If a person is always talking about themselves and barely cares about others, they are unlikely to be someone you can trust, as they only have eyes for themselves and always put the needs of others in the background. No matter who it is, narcissistic people cannot be trusted because they transform their own image into the most important thing in the world. They don't want anyone to be better or equal to them. He is a type of person who will do anything to increase the value of his own image, and this compulsive act of desiring and admiring himself is extremely dangerous, as it is impossible to know what this person is capable of doing to stay where he is. Want. Typically, they are people who make others take the blame for their mistakes. Therefore, do not trust people who talk too much about themselves and who just want to impose their opinions on others without listening to anyone, as they are individuals who can harm you at any time. The second type of person is the gossiper. Stoicism also teaches us how to deal with people's gossip and hurtful words. The Stoics emphasize the need not to give other people's opinions power over us. If someone reveals secrets or shares information about someone else, it is very likely that that same person will do the same to you, commenting on you and your life behind your back. Believe me, this kind of thing is almost guaranteed to happen when someone gossips. It is not just a habit, but an action done for pure pleasure. So don't think that because the person is your friend that they won't tell someone your secrets. Don't make that mistake. The only advantage you can get from a gossiper is if you want the information to spread, because then you just need to tell the gossiper, and he will do all the work for you. The third type is the person who constantly irritates you. When it comes to dealing with annoying or manipulative people, Stoicism offers us the practice of self-reflection. Instead of reacting emotionally, we can stop and think about how our own perceptions and reactions influence the situation. It's one thing when you're going through a difficult time in your life and you easily lose your temper with someone, not because of them, but because of the stress you're subjected to on a daily basis. It's a completely different situation when you're calmer but are constantly irritated around a specific person. If this person is capable of always irritating you, it is because they subtly provoke you, throwing ideas that confuse you and feed your doubts subtly, little by little, in small doses, so that you cannot fully understand their emotional and psychological games. Believe me, people who act like this do it for pure pleasure. Therefore, be careful with small subtle games, because if the person manages to irritate you all the time, it is because they are poking you with gestures and words, and you don't even notice. The fourth type are the indecisive. As for indecisive people, Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control, our own decisions and actions. It's easy to explain why these people can't be trusted. How can you trust someone who is always hesitating about what decision to make, if they are not even able to define a direction for their lives? How can you trust them? They are also totally unpredictable people, because you don't know exactly what their decisions will be, just as their own personality is not completely formed. They are indecisive individuals, as they do not have a strong enough personality to act and choose the path they want to follow. To be blunt about this point, trusting someone who is indecisive is like trusting a child with a knife. You don't know what they will do when you are not there. The fifth type is two-faced. Regarding two-faced people, Stoicism would advise caution. Instead of worrying about your actions, we can focus on cultivating virtue in ourselves. You've probably had some experience like this. These are people who apparently like you, but spread rumors about you behind your back, and this behavior extends to other people as well. So don't be surprised when others say bad things about you. One moment they're smiling and being friendly, and the next they're talking bad about you. What I recommend is that when you start to notice this type of behavior, it's best to get out of the relationship as quickly as possible. The sixth type is the curious one. From a historical perspective, it is important to set boundaries in conversations and share information prudently. Stoics suggest keeping your distance from people who are insanely curious, as this can lead to harmful information being spread. Furthermore, this curiosity can be linked to envy. Therefore, always be careful about who you share information with. After all, it is difficult to be sure that the person does not want to use some of your information in a harmful way in the future. If someone shows curiosity about something, it is best to walk away or not trust that person. However, it is important to make something very clear. Don't confuse a pleasant conversation with excessive curiosity. What I mean by this is that obviously when you are meeting someone or talking to a friend, they will sometimes search for a topic or try to get to know you better by asking questions about your life, such as work, studies, and what are you doing. This is just a normal part of a conversation. However, what you need to understand is that the curious person is the person who will ask you all the time about your life and, sometimes, about delicate things. For example, the person may ask about your salary, which is already a little strange to ask. If you decide not to answer and change the subject, the person will later ask the same question again. That's what I'm referring to. This is the person we should be wary of before bestowing our trust. So not only can you not trust these types of people, but if you have the opportunity, stay away from them. The seventh type is the person who is friends with everyone. The Stoics would remind us that we cannot control how others perceive us. Rather than seeking universal approval, Stoics emphasize the importance of cultivating authenticity. Who has never met someone like that, who smiles at everyone, wishes the best for everyone, hugs everyone, and says you can always count on him or her? In short, they are the famous type of person who wants to be popular, outgoing, and please everyone. I'm not saying we should judge someone just for having these characteristics. What I want to advise is that you don't trust blindly, because the person who smiles at everyone, tries to please everyone and always makes promises has the sole objective of being popular. The goal of this type of person is to be the center of attention. For him or her, you are just another one, just another number, a person who will be conquered. People like this live in search of attention, they live through illusions. Knowing this, it's always good to be suspicious, because extroverted people who want to be overly popular usually replace anyone quickly, and you could be next. The eighth type is the one who always criticizes something, especially other people. The Stoics would highlight the importance of constant self-evaluation. Rather than spending time criticizing others, the Stoic focus is on improving ourselves and our character. If someone spends their time criticizing other people, usually through gossip, rumors, or even trying to damage someone's image, they are probably the type of person with a bad character. Think about it with me. If you go around talking bad about others and wasting time on gossip, I imagine if you are a decent person with things to do in life like work, mind your own way and pay bills, you probably won't go around talking and spreading rumors about others. My point here is that those who are overly critical of other people's lives clearly have nothing better to do, and furthermore, they are unfortunate enough to make unnecessary comments about others. Therefore, be suspicious, don't respect and don't be considerate of this type of person, because if someone talks bad about others they can easily start talking bad about you too. If you've made it this far, well done. Comment below if you, until then, were trusting and respecting someone who possesses some of these characteristics. But don't worry, it's not over yet. I still have 2 more types of people to show you. The 9th type are people who are always involved in many problems. Stoics encourage us to take responsibility for our decisions and emotions rather than blaming luck or circumstances. These people live with problems and intrigues. They say they have bad luck and for them life is just a punishment. Every day they say that a new difficulty arises and that each day seems to bring a new consequence. The person is there, telling everyone that they don't know what is happening, that everything is difficult. Anyway, be careful with this type of person. There is nothing wrong with being suspicious, because if a person is full of problems, it is not a coincidence, it is not the universe conspiring against them, but the person themselves sabotaging themselves every day. He probably makes bad decisions, doesn't learn from mistakes, and probably doesn't control his own emotions. Therefore, I advise you to be wary of this type of individual, because if you sympathize with their sad and difficult story to the point of always wanting to help, their problem could quickly become your problem. Therefore, be careful, because people like this, who collect obstacles and dramas, only have one real difficulty, in this case, themselves. I imagine you don't want this difficulty on your side. The 10th type are people who pretend to listen to what you say. In situations where people pretend to listen, Stoicism would guide us to be assertive and, if necessary, move away from conversations that do not enrich us. Do you know that type of person who, when you say something and try to share an idea, responds with a simple, "Yes, I understand, it's true," and nothing more? This can be annoying and even disrespectful. The worst thing is when the person talks about what they want and, when it's their turn to talk, they just pretend to listen, get distracted by their cell phone or agree without really caring about what you're saying, that is, they heard you, but isn't really listening to you. Let's be honest, the minimum requirement in a conversation is that the person pays attention to what you are saying, otherwise it's not a conversation. Therefore, if one day you are talking to someone and you notice that they are not paying attention, or worse, they start using their cell phone while you are talking, clearly demonstrating that they are not listening to what you are saying, then simply stop talking. It's not worth talking to the walls. If the person isn't paying attention or is just pretending, don't waste your time. If that's the case, get up and say you're leaving. After all, you're not obligated to spend your time with people who aren't interested in what you say. In short, analyzing the different types of people who can undermine trust provides us with valuable lessons in the search for more authentic and meaningful relationships. By incorporating Stoic teachings, we learn to maintain our inner peace, cultivate virtue, practice authenticity, and exercise self-control in challenging situations. And that's it for today. We have reached the end of this video, and I sincerely hope that these tips are of great use to you. Don't forget that you are a crucial part of this channel. So, if this video helped you think or learn something, leave a like and a comment so that more people discover the powers of historical wisdom. If you don't have anything to comment, comment Stoic Life, so I can see that you reached the end. And if you haven't signed up yet, do so. Remember that every small step counts in your personal development process. Keep moving towards victory. For your attention, thank you very much. May everyone be with the Creator.